Good morning, everyone. My name is Hussein Freja. I'm the General Manager of Snapchat in the Middle East. Thank you so much for coming today. I know coming to Expo is a little bit more complicated to come logistically versus others, but I really think it was extremely important for us to be at Expo before it finishes by end of month. The theme around connecting minds and to shape the future is a theme that we relate to a lot at Snapchat. And I think being here and the activation we did a couple of days ago that you should see is a clear demonstration of that vision of Snapchat. This activation actually brought global art and connecting it with local art here in the region to create a really great physical experience, but augmenting that with an experience from the digital world. And I think this is a clear testament to where we are in our journey at Snapchat, and I would really encourage everybody to visit if you didn't do that already. That activation, actually, when I looked at it yesterday, it was a clear kind of demonstration of where we are at Snapchat in the Middle East. We've been here almost 6 years. I'm really proud of the team we were able to bring, the smartest, one of the smartest and the brightest in the region, but we're keeping the investment in that team to be able to service our community and our partners. We almost doubled our team in the last 12 months, and we're going to keep investing in that team in the future. As well, I'm so excited that we're going to be in Saudi Arabia physically, being able to support our creator community and be able to bring local talent to enrich our experience of Snapchat locally and in the region in general. Our community is still the most engaged, one of the most engaged communities in the world, and still growing. We grew more than 33% last year, and as well, we hit the 20 million mark in Saudi Arabia, which is a huge testament to the importance of Snapchat in the society and really the storytelling capability Snapchat provides to the community. And that storytelling capability is empowered by our innovation of AR that has been our key focus for Snapchat in the last 10 years. And AR has been the most exciting and the biggest success we have seen at Snapchat from an innovation perspective and where our community loves to storytell. And what we're going through recently is actually a biggest proof that AR is part of our present and opportunities coming up for us as a community and you as businesses are majorly empowered by AR. 85% of the community of Snapchat use AR every day. And that shows how people are interacting with AR at Snapchat, but not only at Snapchat, in the wider ecosystem. Even when we look at the concept of metaverse, when you look at what the metaverse promises, to us as a community or as users, the biggest kind of most practical current activities are powered by our technologies. And that's why we're really committed to help building the ecosystem that will empower our community, our creators as well, to build better businesses and create better content, but as well help transform businesses to make them ready for the opportunity that AR represents. Today, we'll be talking about AR. My colleague, Jeff, is somewhere here, coming from LA, a little bit jet-lagged. He's going to be talking to us about what Snapchat has done on the AR side, what kind of opportunities, the endless opportunities of AR that provides to businesses. As well, he'll be interviewing Cyril Lancelon, who is the artist who partnered with us on the activation today. Please welcome Jeff Miller.
Thank you so much, Hussein. Hussein got me to come here from Los Angeles because he promised me that I would have an incredible week in your beautiful city and meet some very generous people, kind people, and get the opportunity to sing some truly terrible karaoke. And so far today, I've had the opportunity this week to already spend time in your expo and in Old Dubai, and I've really started to love your town. It's the second time I've been to Dubai, and I've also met incredibly generous people. So he's already fulfilled his promises, and for those of you that would like to sing karaoke with us later tonight, you have the opportunity to do so. I'm here to tell you more about how we think about augmented reality. And the ways that we talk about AR are not in the context of the future. We talk about augmented reality in the present because it is already here. And what is so special about AR in the context of the Snap community is this is ingrained in the behavior in terms of how they behave, how they are using our platform day in and day out. And when we talk about AR, the vision, the possibilities of what it could be start with where we are today. Everything you see here is grounded in our computing technology. This is AR, everything that you're seeing, but it doesn't have to be complex. AR can be a moment, a mother and a daughter, and how they're interacting, how they're playing with the camera. It can be when you're thinking about how I can bring Jurassic Park to my everyday. This is AR. When you're thinking about in the world around you, how you can overlay computing, not in the context of a metaverse that is something that is foreign and dystopian and living outside of your natural everyday elements, but actually bringing in the power and the possibilities of AR to your everyday in any environment that you are. And the reality is within Snap for us, what we see is that the way people communicate is different. It's grounded in AR as a way of sharing experiences, a way of sharing messages. The camera itself is the way that people are communicating. They're using this as a way to augment their experiences in a way that doesn't feel like they're being performative, but instead that they're adding value to their experiences day in and day out. For us, we talked here about Hussein, the region and the power and the way that 85% of people in MENA are using AR every day on the Snapchat platform. Well, globally, we have over 200 million Snapchatters engaging with AR every day. It's the world's largest AR platform. And the ways that we're using it went from what was the silly, what was the novel, something that was about putting dog ears on someone's head, to now becoming something that is incredibly performant and incredibly powerful in terms of what it can accomplish today and where it's going and how it can affect businesses, how it can affect culture, how it can affect art. So as we think about our vision, where we're going from here, we think about it in this context of entertainment and utility. So in the context of entertainment, how people are communicating, how they're sharing fun experiences, that's been the bread and butter of what Snapchat has done in the world of AR for over 6 years now. Utility, though, is where we see so much potential. We are thinking about AR and how it can actually overlay the world around you and add meaningful value. So this is utility in the context of being able to recognize labels, being able to recognize products, understand in real-time pricing, understand what type of plant you're seeing, being able to identify everything in the world around you, today on your Snapchat phone, tomorrow on wearables. In the context of businesses themselves, we've been really intentional about how do we apply this utility, the power of the camera, in a way that actually would be meaningful to our community. And I think that's the biggest thing I'd say when we're developing these new formats, when we're developing this innovation. It's not through the lens of what is good for Snapchat, it's through the lens of what is good for our community and what will be additive to their experience so it doesn't feel necessarily like an ad, it feels like content that is extremely relevant to them in any given use case. So when I'm here in Dubai and I'm looking for a new pair of Gucci sneakers because I don't have to pay the VAX, whereas in California I'm paying a 15% tax, I can go on Snap and try on those Gucci sneakers directly and then purchase them through the Snapchat application. We can reinvent the window display around holidays for Ralph Lauren around the world. We can think through when I'm getting a new timepiece, how that looks and be able to show it with accurate sizing technology from Piaget. We're able to bring to life through Farfetch, through voice command, different clothes, different trials, and actually making sure that we're making really accurate sizing recommendations. And this should hopefully give you some sense of our vision. This isn't just about an advertising format that will drive great return on ad spend for our clients. It's about helping clients transform their businesses, rethinking the way they do trials, rethinking the way they do focus group testing to determine what the next style they put out there is, to see what resonates with the Snapchat community. Rethinking the way they actually are mapping fit and sizing technology so they can increase conversion rates and reduce return rates. We think about AR a lot in the context of retail and beauty around sustainability, reinventing the supply chain, reinventing the customer experience. And we're already seeing promising dividends from this type of work. We're seeing brands like Zenly Optical here that are not just seeing top of the funnel returns, but because of this experience, because of the fact that they're able to actually try something and understand what that use case is, our Snapchat community is more likely to purchase. Recently in January, we introduced new shopping lenses that feed in real-time pricing, that feed in real-time product details. And we're seeing great benefits from that approach. We had a brand in the States, Ulta Beauty, that saw $6 million in incremental sales, 30 million product try-ons in just 2 weeks on Snap. So for us, as we think about this through the business mindset, it's through this lens of what is meaningful to our community. Vishal, my friend, and I had the opportunity yesterday to sit down with some of the chief creative officers from around your great region and have real honest conversation about the present and future of the creative industry. And one thing that struck a chord with me was thinking about how our community behaves, how the younger generation, Gen Z and millennials behave, and how different it is from how we still market to them. And what really stood out to me from one of the leaders, what they said, was we have to start to bring in that type of mentality, the way that consumers behave today, into our creative leadership teams, into our marketing teams. And that's my encouragement to you. And not just the context of business. When I have the opportunity to work with someone like Cyril, getting to see artists and what they're able to accomplish with AR, it's really amazing to see the power of this canvas brought to life when you have visionaries in their fields applying it in a new context. So that brings us to our big vision. For us, when we think about the big vision, this isn't about what AR is today. It's about how AR will be the new operating platform for the world around us. You have seen our Snap spectacles that we have out there, and you can imagine now the worlds of 3 different platforms. The Snapchat app within your device, the Lens Studio technology that our creators all over the world are using to create these experiences, and then our hardware products that are enabling you to bring these to life using today your sunglasses and tomorrow beyond. That is where we're going in the context of business, in the context of community, of communication, of art and culture, is bringing these 3 powerful platforms to life in a way that will naturally feed off user experience, user behavior, but always beginning with the community first, doing it in a way that is additive to their experience versus taking them away from their experience. So let's bring us today to the context of the world of art. This is, to me, where I get super excited. Adjacent to what we're doing for businesses is how do we apply art in AR in a way that can transform an artist's vision. And that's what I get really excited as a member of the creative strategy team, is being a person that can meet with the talented artists like Cyril and say, we have a new format, a new canvas that doesn't have to recreate your vision exactly, but can build upon that can morph it in a new way. So before we get Cyril on stage, I want to share with you our strategy, how we've started to think about the ways that AR will enhance the artist's experience. This is so cool. My name is Jeff Miller, and I am the Senior Director of Creative Strategy at Snap Inc. And action. As we think about the many ways that augmented reality can propel forward the world of art, we have to start with the collaboration that we developed with LACMA. That was a focus on how do we make monuments more reflective of diverse stories and not wait for physical monuments to be built. In that collaboration, we worked with a diverse group of artists and lens creators to bring these physical stories into life in the real world. Take our work with Alex Israel. We had an opportunity to sit down with him in his studio to understand how he wanted to translate his physical forms into this new augmented reality space. For our Basel this year, we created 2 new experiences with Alex directly. The first one has one of his signature characters, the avocado, dancing alongside you and your friends. The last one, you see Alex himself originate from within inside his installation and then paint the outline of his own head. These types of experiences are only possible because of AR. I'm so proud of our collaborations with artists to date, those that are established as well as those that are still young in their careers. So much of the great work that originates starts when you have an artist with a clear vision operating in new formats. But what has me most excited are the stories that we don't even know about yet. The artists that are still trying to find their voice. AR is such a great medium, democratized to help them frame their stories. I can't wait to see what the community develops next. Well, our narrator here aside, please pardon our narrator. What I can tell you is we have so many talented artists, including in this room, that are playing with the lens format today. And I'd like to welcome one to the stage, our dear friend Cyril Lensland. Welcome to the stage. So Cyril, I'd like to start off by asking you a few questions about your art itself. So your style, your vision, the types of materials that you work with. We have a couple of examples here from Paris and Philadelphia. Can you tell for the audience here, tell us a little bit about who you are as an artist?
I started my journey in the digital world. I work with 3D computers, and I always thought I should build them to bring the public inside. So I designed very quickly some immersive space with repetition of forms or shapes, very simple shapes that everybody can understand. And by adding them, making repetitive, it makes something more complex, but simple at the same time. You see like a pyramid or the golden spheres. And then I invite the public to go inside. It's just not a network to look, it's a network to connect to. It's immersive. You need to. It's a start of a dialogue with the public.
Amazing. So we have two more examples here. This one in the DFIC, and then the other one I believe in Beijing. Can you tell us about these types of experiences and the visions behind them?
Yes. So the one was in the IFC. It was like 4 years ago, I think. It's an example of I was adding those simple forms, cubes, spheres, and cylinders, and I started to think I shouldn't add more complexity. So I took some vocabulary from the pop art. So I took flamingos, and you can see flamingos, but at the same time you can see like it's the first sculptures. You can go inside, people can go under it. So with flamingos, you're making a space, and it's something with the watermelons. I started I did an image with a lot of watermelons flying, and people didn't know if it was real or not. And I got so many inquiries, so I built it in China for a museum, and people can go inside. So it's very fun because I think it's connecting digital world on the real world.
Absolutely. So let's talk about your exhibit here. Before we get to the context of AR, what was the vision? Tell us how you and Snap started working together.
Well, it was so amazing to think about working here at Dubai Expo because it's such a connection between all the countries, all the best architects, all the best artists, and all the people from the world connecting each other in a big exhibition. So it was a big challenge, but very quickly I thought it was perfect to mix. To bring the people, the public, the digital world, and the physical world. And when I see the smile of people inside the artwork, I'm very happy.
Amazing. And we talk a lot about connections. That's the theme of why we're here. How do you apply that theme of connections in the actual geometry of the work itself?
Yeah, so I use simple shapes like I always do, and you see it on an artwork. It's obvious. They are all connecting to each other, and it's not only like as an image, but as a technical too, because the air is going inside. It's an inflatable, so the air needs to go and connect every shape. So it looks simple, but it's more complex to do because you need to have some section dimension. So this is what I like about the computers, and you can make a lot of tries, and then. I was so excited for the AR part to come with it.
Amazing. Well, let's talk a bit about the process of the physical build itself. So here's a time lapse. How long before did you start conceiving this project, and how long does it take to make something like this?
I think about 6 months, something like this. Was a lot of tries. I use tools that I call parametric tools. Instead of designing something, drawing it like you will do with the pen, I put rules. I say, okay, I want to do a cube, a circle, and something, and I want the size to be 10 meters by 10 meters. And then I make a lot of tries, and this is something cool about computers. You can make your own tools. On those tools, I made them. You know, the tools I used was supposed to be used to make forest, renders of forest, renders of gardens, and I was thinking, well, I should put different things instead. So I think it's nice when you take a tool and you make it something else, something new.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking about making it something new, we've talked a little bit about this notion of the physical world interacting with the AR world. So for the first time, you've brought one of your experiences to life through augmented reality. We have a few of the examples here on stage of how we've built this out, how we've augmented your actual experience. What was that like for you to think through this new canvas?
Oh, that was amazing. I was so excited because already the public is part of the artwork, but it was part because they were taking pictures going inside. But here, it goes even further. It's a lot more interaction. And then I was so happy to work with Ahmed. And it brings, the public is not just looking at it, is participating. And then when you look at their videos and their creativity, it brings back to the title, connection with the artwork and the physical work and the public.
Do you think that augmented reality moving forward for artists in different contexts will become a medium that gets more adoption in across the globe?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's not the future, it's the present actually. Like you said before, it's already here, and it makes it connects more gaps, more. When you draw an artwork, you think about the size and all those things, but now you need to think about the AR, all the possibilities that will be available, changing the colors, making some stuff flying, the flags going on top. So it opens, there's no more limits.
Amazing. Well, I think it's the perfect opportunity for us to hear from our lens creator who's in the room. So we've got a short video here that's talking through how he built on Cyril's original vision to create the experiences you see on screen today.
السلام عليكم، وياكم اخوكم احمد علي، سناب ستار وصانع محتوى تقني ومنشئ عدسات واقع معزز في سناب شات. بداية مشواري كانت في عام 2016، مهتم جدا في التقنية بأحدث إصداراتها وأحاول أقدم التقنية للمستخدم بشكل جدا مبسط. في البداية ضروري نعرف أهمية الواقع المعزز، والواقع المعزز هو مستقبل التقنية. ممكن نستخدم هذه التقنية في عدة مجالات، سواء مجالات تعليمية، توجيهية أو حتى ترفيهية، وممكن ندمج الفن مع الواقع المعزز بشكل جدا جميل. الواقع المعزز اليوم أصبح أداة جدا مهمة في عالم التسويق، وفتح فرص جدا كثيرة في هذا المجال، وممكن يعطي تجربة مميزة وفريدة للمستخدم، وفي نفس الوقت ممكن يقرب لك البراندات أو العلامات التجارية. واليوم أحب أشكر سناب شات على إتاحتهم لي هذه الفرصة الجميلة للتعاون مع الفنان الفرنسي سيريل لإنشاء عدسات واقع معزز. ونحن في هذه العدسات حاولنا ندمج الفن مع الماضي، مع رؤية وطموح قادتنا الله يحفظهم، وإن شاء الله نكون طلعنا بشيء بياض وجه، شيء يليق في هذا الحدث. خلونا نشوف العدسات. مثلا هذه العدسة استوحينا الفكرة من كلمات ومقولات لقادتنا وشيوخنا الله يحفظهم، وحبينا نستعرض الكلمات هذه في السماء كإطار جدا جميل. ثاني عدسة مبنية على أساس الإمارات واللي هو الاتحاد. الإمارات دائما مرحبة بالجميع، مثل اللي صار في إكسبو. فالعدسة هذه راح تستعرض لك جميع أعلام الدول المشاركة في إكسبو 2020، ويغطيها علم الإمارات بشكل جدا جميل وبشكل جدا محب. وفي النهاية أتمنى أنكم تستمتعون بتجربة هذه العدسات وتضيفون طبقة واقع معزز جميلة على عالمنا الملهم.
Amazing. Ahmed, if you wouldn't mind standing up, we want to say thank you, congratulations. And Cyril, to you as well, congratulations. That's an incredible experience.
Thank you.